Scott and sports with Gary Harris.
Recent shootings in Tuscaloosa and out in Colorado have left some people with feelings of anxiety. The aftermath of situations like these can have lingering effects on your emotions.
WVUA's Jennifer Edwards sat down with a local family counselor to find out what people can do to help deal with those feelings. However, we will try and get that story for you a little bit later on in this newscast.
Meanwhile, it's been 1 week since a gunman opened fire in downtown Tuscaloosa and wounded 17 people. According to Tuscaloosa County District Court, the suspect has requested a preliminary hearing. Now, we've reported 44-year-old Nathan Wilkins of Northport is now charged with 18 counts of attempted murder in connection with the shooting in Tuscaloosa and a shooting in Northport. Court documents show Wilkins is being represented by Joseph Van Heest, head of the Tuscaloosa County Public Defender's Office. No date has been set yet for that hearing. Authorities say Wilkins opened fire outside Copper Top Bar in Temerson Square, hitting 17 people. Officials say Wilkins is also connected to a shooting in Northport that wounded one man. Tuscaloosa's homicide unit is also investigating 2 cases of arson, one in Brookwood and one in Northport. Investigators believe Wilkins is also tied to those cases. We spoke with DCH Regional Medical Center spokesman Brad Fisher, who told us 2 of those victims are still in the hospital. One remains in serious condition. One patient is listed in good condition.
Now the latest on the homicide investigation in Northport. As we have reported, 29-year-old Christopher Patton is charged with murder in connection with the death of 79-year-old Kenneth McDaniel. According to Tuscaloosa County District Court officials, Patton did not request a preliminary hearing, and court documents show that he has waived his right to a court-appointed attorney. Officials told us this means that Patton will go before a grand jury unless he requests an attorney. Also, last Tuesday night, McDaniel was found beaten to death at his home off Highway 43. That's the victim in that case. According to Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office, when they arrived on the scene, they saw a man holding something that resembled a pipe. After a chase, the suspect was taken into custody about an hour later.
With 2 shootings in the U.S. last week, you may be questioning whether to buy a gun for your own safety. Some Americans feel buying a gun is one way to help feel safer. Local gun expert Jim Collins says there's nothing wrong with owning a gun as long as you can educate yourself before you purchase one. Collins says you should know what type of gun is the right one for your needs. According to Collins, the only reason to use a gun is for your own safety or the safety of others. He also recommends taking safety classes for new users.
A lot of people think just having one in the house makes them safer. Well, actually it doesn't, because they don't know how to use it.
Collins has a shooting facility at the Tuscaloosa Gun Club. They offer gun safety classes. Now, to learn more about those classes, you can go to WVUATV.com, click numbers and links.
Now to Pennsylvania, where the National Collegiate Athletic Association announced stiff penalties against Penn State University's football program today.
Penn State was hit with a $60 million fine by the NCAA along with other punishments. They are part of the fallout from the child sex abuse scandal involving former assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky. The penalties from the governing body of college sports follow an independent investigation led by former FBI Director Louis Frey. It found several top Penn State officials, including longtime football coach Joe Paterno, helped cover up the abuse. NCAA officials say they hope the penalties will send a message that such behavior is unacceptable.
There's also been much speculation on whether or not the NCAA has the authority to impose any type of penalty related to Penn State. Not only does the NCAA have the authority to act in this case, we also have the responsibility to say that such egregious behavior is not only against our bylaws and Constitution, but also against our value system and basic human decency.
Penn State University has removed the statue of Joe Paterno from outside the campus football stadium. That happened during this past weekend. Paterno's family released a statement saying tearing down the statue does not help the victims and serves no purpose. Meanwhile, people across West Alabama are speaking out about those sanctions. One person told us that more should have been done to protect the children.
You got to go directly to the police and protect the children and their welfare. And if he would have done that, a lot more young children would not have suffered what they suffered.
And we'll have more on the Penn State sanctions coming up later in your home team sports. Now, still to come here on WVUA News at 6, the suspect in the Colorado movie theater shootings made his first appearance in court today. Find out what happened.
And coming up in home team weather, it's hot and dry and sunny across much of the area this afternoon, but any relief in the forecast, any cooler temperatures, home team weather's coming up. Stay with us.
And former Crimson Tide defensive lineman Marty Lyons was enshrined in the College Football Hall of Fame over the weekend. Gary Harris will have the story coming up in Alabama's home team sports.